So I secretly struggled with my drinking for nearly 10 years. And people in my life knew that I drank and knew that I liked to drink, but they didn't know the extent of how much I was drinking. They didn't know about my late night bottle of wine after my husband went to bed, or the fact that I had alcohol stashed in the cabinet that I would pull from when my husband wasn't looking, or the fact that I would bring extra alcohol to parties and sneak it in the bathroom, or genuinely be concerned that there wasn't enough alcohol there. I can honestly say that I'm not really sure when my normal drinking crossed over into this more destructive type of relationship with alcohol where I didn't really have control over it, but gradually over the years it did, and I got to a place where I was drinking in secret so often because I had so much shame around it. I had so much shame that I felt awful most days because I was hungover and recovering from drinking, or I was sneaking drinks when people weren't looking because all I could think about was getting a drink in my system. And I really didn't want to do activities unless I knew that there would be alcohol there. And if it wasn't going to be there, I would honestly sneak it in, or maybe have a few drinks before I went to a social function. These cycles led me to feel a lot of shame and guilt around my drinking. And so that would lead me to, take breaks from alcohol, whether it was a couple of days or a 30-day alcohol-free challenge. But honestly, these were really difficult for me to do. It was hard for me to even have 1 or 2 alcohol-free days in a week. And usually I wouldn't make a whole alcohol-free challenge. And oftentimes I felt like by the end of those, my desire for alcohol would be magnified. So I would just binge drink, and my cycles of destructive drinking would just continue. Even though alcohol was causing a lot of harm and damage in my life and a lot of negative emotions and internal turmoil and conflict, to be honest, I didn't want to quit drinking. I wanted to have a more moderate relationship with alcohol that felt balanced. But everywhere I turned, everyone was telling me, oh, the only option is abstinence. If you can't control your drinking, then you have to quit for good. But one hungover morning, I was scouring the internet looking for an answer, and I stumbled upon a treatment that works to reverse alcohol use disorder neurologically in the brain. And when that happens, people can become that normal drinker. They can have their control back over alcohol. And I'm obviously a success story of this treatment, and it completely changed not only my drinking, but also had a massive ripple effect into all other areas of my life. You can learn more about this treatment and get started by clicking the link in my bio.